Kimberly Mondragon. I'm 19 years old. I think I'm just excited for the opportunity to be like into a scholarship. I mean, the money, especially for school, it could always come in handy.
Of course. Love that. So what do you feel like is a talent or skill that you have that a lot of people don't know about, or that you might find like not necessarily a talent or like something silly?
I mean, I could pretty much teach people how to dance. Like regional Mexican dancing. That's like something really close to home. So, I mean, I taught my brother. I've taught my friends. I've taught a lot of friends. In a span of like just a couple weeks. So I think it's very like people think it's hard, but
Yeah.
I think to me it's like, oh no, it's easy to show them.
Yeah.
It's like maybe it's just me because I've taught a lot of people and they're
Right.
like, oh, it's easy now.
Yeah, I mean, you've like grown up or in it, so it's like kind of like your first language almost, like
Yeah.
but in dance form. So that's super fun. I can totally relate with that. Like I'm Middle Eastern, we have a lot of like cultural dances that we have, and so when I teach like some of my friends who aren't Middle Eastern the types of dances, they're like, "How do you know this?" I'm like, "It's just in my blood. Like I was
like,
born knowing this."
Like the music calls me.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. I love it. Okay. How would you describe your best friend?
Irreplaceable.
Oh.
Yeah. My brother's my best friend. So it's like no one can like
Yeah.
be him. Like he's my everything. So he's not, I mean, he's my brother, yeah, but like my best friend for everything.
Yeah. That's so beautiful.
Open mind and everything, yeah.
That's so beautiful when like they're your blood, but like you view them more than that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's just a bond that it's like unbreakable and it's very tight. So it's like no matter who I meet, like no one can like replace him.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love that. Okay, so these are more like getting to know you questions. What is an accomplishment, personal project, or extracurricular that you're proud of working on? So that could be either like in school, outside of school, whatever you consider a project.
I think just getting to like a UC.
Oh yeah.
To me, I mean, I'm the first in my family to get in, so to me, it's like it's a big goal. And I think out of my whole family, I mean, I've had family that's gone to college or whatever, but I'm like the first one to go straight into a 4-year.
Wow.
So it's very different. It's very new and it's kind of scary, but to me, it's just I think it's my biggest accomplishment.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like amazing to say like, oh yeah, I'm the first to be in my family and like set that like pathway up for everyone else.
Yes. Well, congratulations. Are you going to UCSD?
Yeah, I'm in UCSD as of right now.
What are you studying?
I'm studying human biology.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with that?
I want to go into med school and then go into obstetrics and gynecology and then especially just give back to like my Latinx community. I know firsthand. I've seen it. The language barrier. So, I mean, to me, it's like a little bit of my place that I could help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, I think that, like, you wanting to, like, obviously have a career that's so, like, grand for yourself, but, like, the fact that you have in the back of your mind, like, I want to give back to the community where I started in, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so in terms of, like, giving someone tip in doing something similar, so like getting into a 4-year college right away, or like being the first in your family, going to medical school, things like that. Obviously you're not there yet, but one day you will be. What kind of tips would you give someone?
I think first of all, have a supportive like background. If it's not your family, if your family doesn't support you, then either a friend or even a teacher, just someone who have like to lean on whenever you feel like you're burning out. I think just try to get involved would be my biggest thing. Either you don't have to be involved in like everything, but I think a couple things that could relate to you or resonates with you the most, and then especially if it plays in a long-term goal, you become more passionate and helps with your passion, and especially not like getting burnt out into your goal, and eventually it will all lead to your end goal. But I think just getting involved would be the biggest thing, and having a support group.
Do you feel like you've always like pushed yourself to be more involved, or was that something you kind of had to like get out of your comfort zone a bit?
I mean, I was involved, but I think it kind of got more out of my comfort zone when I had to take leadership positions. My teacher did push me into like getting into leadership, which eventually played a bigger role in my UCFs. But to me, I was like, oh, I'll just be a member. And then my teacher was like, no, you guys should like do this, do that. And I was
Yeah.
like, that means talking to more
Right.
people. But eventually, it did play out in the long run because you get to know more people. You have more connections, not just in school, but just with adults as well.
Yeah, and you're also growing your own skills. I think like there's obviously nothing wrong with just like being a member as everybody else, but I think that like when becoming like a leadership or like coming into like a leadership role or a mentor role, I think that gives you so much new skills that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So it's great that you're kind of learning that now and using that to kind of further your skills in the future, because I mean as a doctor you're going to have to take on a lot of leadership roles and you need those skills, so it's good that you're learning them now. So this is like, obviously there's a definition to this question, but in your own mind and like how you see it, what does education mean to you?
Education means like opening doors, in my opinion. I think it's the start. Like education not just helps you, but it helps people around you, like family, those who didn't have like the opportunity to get into higher education or even just finish school. Like you could help them see how much like society is changing and the way people like different perspectives people have, and so they just won't be closed-minded and just think about like their own. They become more open-minded, and I think education is just a big opportunity that like many don't take advantage of. Education could take you like anywhere. It could help you open a business, help you like become a doctor like I want to be, or even just in general, eventually sets you for life, in my opinion. I think education, higher education in general, I mean, you need a job, you need some side kind of education, especially like if you want a lot of things in life, like if you want to purchase a home or you want to purchase a car, like you need a job, which eventually that stable income comes because of education.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think like obviously there's a lot of people who can just go into the world without having like the proper set of education, but I think that's like kind of like far few and between. Because like, I mean, just a lot of the people that I talk to these days, oh, I have a bachelor's degree, I can't even get an entry-level job. Like, it's so hard these days because, like, just the world is becoming so oversaturated. And so I really do agree with you. I think education opens up a lot more doors. Even, like, though people kind of will say, like, oh, it's just a piece of paper, but it's not. Like, even if, like, to other people it might be a piece of paper, or like to future employers it might be a piece of paper, but too you're learning so many skills and you're learning so many things that you wouldn't have otherwise. So I definitely agree with you.
I think it's also not just a piece of paper, because I think at the end of your name you have that like bachelor's of science or master's, and it's something like not everyone has. Like you stand out either way.
Exactly. And I think it's California too, like they give you so many opportunities to get like free college like for the first 2 years or something if you go to community, things like that. Like I think like FAFSA, like there's so many options to go about it. So like at least just get your bachelor's, you know, at least that. I agree with you. Okay, this is more like a fun question. We obviously have like our GEs and things like that, but what do you feel like is a topic or even skill that should be taught in schools that isn't?
Doing your taxes. I don't know, but my family, we always end up going to someone to do our taxes because we're like, none of us don't know how, or even how to like purchase a home or anything that takes like sets you for life. So, or even purchasing a car too, because there's so many terms that a lot of people like don't know, or even on credit cards.
I know.
I just learned recently what APR means or something like that.
I don't even know what that means.
It was like account percentage rates or something like that.
Oh.
I don't know. I learned it because
you have to learn it.
Yeah, I was like, huh? And it's not even due to me. It's just when this person that I knew, his major is like business, so he knows what it means. I was like, you tell me, I don't know anything. I just pay my credit card.
Literally, I just pay. It's a button. Pay full amount.
I'm like, I don't know, but I think anything with taxes, like buying a home, anything like that could set you up in life and is like a long-term payment. I think we need to be more informed as to what everything means. Because I think there's like different ways that you could purchase a home, but I mean there could be more interest in some, less interest in
Exactly.
another.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. I think, like, I know Avid is, like, a big thing in high schools. Like, they teach you those types of things. But I remember being in Avid and I'm like, I didn't learn how to do taxes. Like, I didn't learn, like, what, like, interest rates were. Like, I didn't learn any of that until, like, I had to learn them. Like, I didn't even get a credit card until, like, I was a sophomore in college. And everyone was, like, looking at me funny because they're like, you got, like, what, like, your third credit card or, like, your second one? I'm like, no, this is my first one. Like, I'm just coming into the game, you guys. I'm just coming in. I'm fresh. So I definitely agree with you. I think that's a big thing that needs to be taught. And I feel like it's like, even like past students who've come in and done this, and I've asked them the same question, they say the same thing, because it's such a necessary thing that, like, you just kind of go into the world and you don't know anything.
And it's also kind of terrifying because it's like you're signing something that could eventually either like help you in the long run and you purchase a home, or it could like mess up your credit or anything, and then you have to start all over.
Exactly.
So it's like you have to really think about it and think about like all the possibilities and everything that can happen.
I know. I agree with you. Okay. So you can be as, like, vague or kind of detailed with this as you want, but tell me about someone who has left an impact on you and why.
They're like, it's either my teachers from high school, I have 2 specific ones, or my own mother.
Okay.
I think when it comes to my teachers, I think if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in a 4-year university. If they didn't guide me from the very beginning of high school, so I knew like what steps to take. I mean, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in San Diego. I would be back home in my little town. I think it's just, if I would have never taken their advice, I think I just wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be pursuing what I would want to. I mean, San Diego is really beautiful, so it's like it's something very new to me. I think just the way that they came from similar backgrounds as well, they see themselves in me and I see myself in them. So it's I resonate with them a lot.
Yeah.
And then my mother, I mean, she's gone through everything. Like, I mean, immigrating, staying here, being a single mother, like, it's just the way that she does it. I don't know. I give her props, and I would want to eventually be like her, you know, be able to, I mean, I don't want kids, guys, not yet. Hold that. But I mean, being able to just always look forward and not be like either falling or get behind on anything. Like, she's always on her toes.
Yeah.
She's always thinking ahead and thinking of others before she puts herself. I mean, just the way I give her props, raising 3 children.
Wow.
Teenagers. I don't know how she did it.
Are you guys all close in age?
Yeah, my sister.
Bless her.
Me and my sister are a year and a half apart.
Wow.
And then my brother 3 years apart.
Ugh.
So it's like, I'm the middle child, but we're all very close in age. So we all bicker, or we all, like, after one goes through something, like, there goes another one, and there goes another one. So it's like, I just give her props for her strength and her, like, perseverance that she has with life.
Yeah. Real life Wonder Woman, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's beautiful. All right, so is there a cause or social issue that you're passionate about, and why is it important to you?
I think anything involving, like, immigrants. I think it's just me and the way that I mean, majority of my family is immigrants. Anything that it comes with, like, the border, or when Trump was in office, and, like, the whole retaining children. And I think it's just, to me, it was just very close, because, I mean, I would put myself in the situation. I was like, if I was them, like, if that was my own family, like, aunts, uncles, cousins, to me, it's just, anything with, like, immigrants, to me, it's just close. Because, I mean, I've had family deported. I've had family, like, immigrate more than once. Even just majority of our friends are immigrants as well. So, to me, I just think about all of their journeys and the way that they've all suffered just to try to get, like, into, like, the dream,
like, that American
country.
dream.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's still people coming, and I know, like, their countries are not safe.
Yeah.
So I see why they're trying to immigrate into somewhere
Yeah.
that's hopefully safer and hopefully better for their future, but not just for theirs, but their own children as
Yeah.
well.
It's definitely a very hard conversation, like hard topic to kind of shed light on, because there's so many sensitive subjects and things like that, and it's like something that one person can't really fix. So it sucks, but it's just, I think it's good to talk about it, just to have it in everyone's head. You know, if you share it with one person, then that's like one other person that knows the kind of like the troubles that happen with it, and like the importance of it. So I agree with you. Okay, so obviously you're still super young, but like, what advice would you give someone that is trying to make a positive impact on the community?
I think you should be selfish. No, not selfish. Selfless.
Selfless.
Sorry. Correct me. But I think it's just, don't think about anything yourself. Think about how it affects others, how it will like improve them, even if it's just like something small. I mean, everyone pitches in just their little input, can make a big difference in anything. I think it's just, think how they could feel, be like, put yourself in their shoes,
Yeah.
and then see how you could either try to do something or just something small that could impact and make their day, even just for once, if they wanted to.
Yeah. Love that. Okay, so same with like the other question, you can be as vague or detailed as you want, but what is a challenge that you've had to work through, and how do you feel like it shaped you to who you are today?
I think it's validating my own self and putting like myself, just anything with myself first. I kind of find it hard to put myself first. Oh, God.
No, we are not.
It's okay.
No.
I mean, I'm still working on it. It's a long journey, but I mean, my parents did get divorced, so then I took on the responsibility of the older child, or whatever responsibility my parents had together. So I always tended to put my siblings first, my mom first. I think it's just growing up. I mean, as like I say, like it's everyone's first time living, so I don't blame anyone. But I think it's just growing up. It was just harder to validate anything with myself, because it was always like other people have it worse, you could say, like, and I know like it's not just me or whatever, but I think just trying to find my own voice and being able to voice my feelings or anything, or just my thoughts, it's kind of hard. I didn't have to do that growing up, so like now that it's like, oh, I could, it's like I don't want to.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just something that I think I have improved like a lot, especially just coming to San Diego. It's like I'm on my own, so I could say things without having to be like, oh, like it could be used against me, you could say, or it could be like reversed back and just use my own words against myself. So it's like it won't matter, you could say.
Yeah. Do you feel like, in terms of like feeling like you can validate your feelings and like take care of, or like not take care of yourself, like look in the mirror and be like, I'm good, like you know, whatever's happening, like I'm okay, how do you feel like you're getting better at it, or do you feel like it's still something that you kind of struggle with consistently?
I think there's times that it's easier than most times, because I think it's still like, I mean, it's like, what, 19 years of my life that I didn't do it, so now all of a sudden I could. It's just something very different, and it's kind of like scary, because it's like, it's a change, so I'm like, I don't want it.
I know.
But I know I should have it. I mean, some days it's easier, and then other days it's like, maybe I shouldn't.
Okay, so in terms of like someone facing a similar challenge to you, what advice would you give them, or like what advice do you wish you had?
That it's not wrong. That it's okay to, put yourself first sometimes. Every once in a while, even if it's just for your feelings, like your feelings matter. I mean, everyone else's does too, but, like, yours. Like, you're the one feeling it. You're the one going through it. So you're the one that should be able to express yourself as well.
Yeah. And I think that means, like, you have a beautiful and, like, giving and selfless heart. I think that's a great thing to have. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we can move on to something lighter. We can move on to something happier. Do you need a minute?
It's all good. I'm like, let me check.
No. All right. Okay. So obviously this is not like a standard application process. Like, you know, in a normal interview setting, there's not like a sunbeam lighting on your
It's like a whole podcast.
It's a whole podcast setting. This is obviously unusual. But, you know, it gives you more kind of like a freedom to express more than you would usually. In terms of like a standard application where it's just like, you know, an essay prompt, like GPA, things like that. What do you feel like for you gets left out in a standard application?
I think just like the raw emotions. I think when you read a paper, like you read words, but you don't see like how much it actually affected the person. I mean, you're not gonna put like, oh yeah, I'm crying right now, like,
right.
But like to like anyone writing like an essay or something, like, especially it's usually like a challenge or something. I mean, they're writing, but it's not writing it as like your full emotions, because you're trying to make it sound like as professional as possible, but you can't see like that raw emotion and that whole like how much it affected you and it impacted you.
Yeah.
Especially like even just writing it, like I know I personally wrote an essay one time and I like broke down writing it. So I don't, like, no one's gonna know I'm crying over here, but like I wish they did, because like it hurts. Like it hurts writing it. But I think it's just that whole point of just emotions, because I mean, you could tell I'm like an emotional person here, but on a piece of paper it's just words. It's words, and you could read it with a straight face and it's like, oh, such and such, like,
I really think that like when you read something, it says more about you than it does like the person who wrote it, because it's like if I'm not, you know, super like interested in reading something, or if I am like whatever, it's like the way that I'm kind of taking it on and like putting it into my brain is probably different than how the person wrote it. Like if you wrote it with such like emotion and like power behind it, but I'm just reading it like it's like a text from my friend, then it's not going to mean as much. It's not going to mean like the same thing that you were trying to kind of portray. So I definitely agree with you on that. Like words are just words. It's how you perceive it. Okay, the last question is not really a question, but obviously you walked in and you saw the podcast setting and you were like, what is this? But now you're way more comfortable and now we're laughing and now we had a great conversation. So what is like a piece of advice that you would give someone who is going to come in here next and like have the same exact reaction as you?
Think of it like a podcast, but like with Trisha Paytas or something. like it's not that serious. Like, I mean, obviously it is serious, but it's like, it's nothing to really be nervous at, because it's more like you kind of block it off from you, and you just like focus on whoever you're talking to and whoever's interviewing you. I think just come with like an open mind. Like, don't stress about cameras or anything, because it's just one person. It's not like a whole setup crew watching you. Love that. Since it's like open-minded and like it's a stranger talking to you, it's kind of easier to like talk to it, because there's no judgment. There's like, they don't know you as a person and they don't know anything about you or anything about your family, anything prior to you. So it's like very comforting, you could say.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we kind of try to do here. So I hope you had a good experience. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I loved getting to know your story, and I can't wait for you to experience college and life, and hopefully one day you can be my gynecologist. Hey YouTube, if you enjoyed this person's story, don't forget to subscribe below to hear more from our inspiring youth. If you want to apply for our Storyteller Scholarship or get more involved in our organization, click the link below to apply. Thanks for watching!